Hope you guys are doing good.
Hope you're doing better than Alicia is today.
I'm not feeling good. Lauren's like social
I'm like
distancing.
trying to social distance because we have our company shutdown coming up next week, and
the company's not shutting down. We just take 2 weeks off in the summer, everybody. So.
Sorry, internally we call it the company shutdown.
Yeah, because we're not working.
It's our 2 week summer vacation.
Yes. So
let me be clear.
Lots of fun content coming out during those 2 weeks for you guys. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And today, can we talk about our project today?
It's different. This is different than what we normally do.
It is different than what we normally do. We're actually not going to be using our Cricut at all today. So this is something that you are going to be able to do inside Canva, and you can actually do it in the free version. Mm-hmm. Not a problem at all. I already saw some people in the comments saying they were so excited about learning this technique. I think you all are going to be like extremely impressed on how simple this is.
Yeah.
Like truly so simple.
And it looks so high end and fancy. Georgie is in the clip on the thumbnail. That's my little Georgie.
Oh, is that Georgie?
Yeah, Georgie and my sister's new dog, Coco.
Aww.
Yeah, I was like, puppies and dogs, like, you can't beat it, you know?
I mean, you can't.
But we're going to show you how to do it with any image that you have. So it could be any photo image you have. I think you could technically do it with, like, a PNG image, but we're going to show you with like actual photos. Yeah,
we're going to show you with photos. We're going to touch on some photos that are going to be better suited for this and some that are not going to be as well suited for this, because there is a little bit of a different technique, especially when it comes to printing, and we have learned that it can sometimes lead to a no teeth effect.
Do we have that?
I need to see if Mary Catherine, if it's out there, if we threw it away.
It's hilarious.
So Courtney did this craft first with a picture of her and Tanner. And
a lovely photo.
A lovely photo of Courtney and Tanner. And it ended up, because it is like a watercolor effect, and because it is, we're doing it on watercolor paper.
Right.
Did something happen to our internet? Oh, no,
nope,
we're back. Okay, good. It kind of bled, and it made Tanner look like he had no teeth.
That's cool. So,
yeah.
Almost as bad as Lauren's Canva AI edits we tried to do
a few
years ago. And it turned her into a pirate.
That was...
But good times. We should have used that for your photo today.
I know.
Why didn't we?
I know.
So, lots of good stuff happening today. We are still running the 30 off of our yearly membership with the code FLASH30. So if you've been on the fence about yearly membership, you all are going to be able, listen, July is full of content, meaning we have stuff coming out almost every day in July.
Yep.
And if you do not have a membership, you cannot access the files we're going to be using in the projects.
I know.
So
definitely jump in on that deal using code FLASH30 to get $30 off your yearly membership. You can't beat it.
Yeah, truly.
You can't beat it. But other than that,
let's just get into it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Sorry if you guys see me hobbling around. First of all, I have like a catch in my hip, and I don't know what's going on. So I'm getting old. So I'm taking my shoes off. So, any Hoosier, here is what we are going to be making today. This is a cute little picture of two little adorable little boys down at the lake. What I'm going to be showing you is I'm going to be showing you all how you can add this faux matting around your picture just to give it a lot more of a high-end look. Now this, and I'm just going to be real honest with you guys, obviously this is the trend, correct me if I'm wrong, but matting that is like off-centered, I still need to come around to it.
Like matted towards the top of the frame.
I'm just going to be real honest. Lauren still needs a few days to come around to it, because I want to take this picture and center it.
Well, and sometimes it looks good even to do like a little handwritten date underneath it.
Now that, if there was like a little handwritten date, or like if it looked more like a Polaroid where it said, the boys at the lake, and then a handwritten date here.
Yeah.
I think I could get down with it.
Yeah.
But this is gonna be Completely up to you. You don't have to do the matting this far up. You can do it a little more down. Whatever floats your boat, you are going to be able to do. Now, I'll go overhead and I'm going to show you guys what this looks like overhead. So it really does give like a true watercolor effect to it. And I love how it looks. And we are going to be learning how to do this together.
Love it.
So, all you're gonna need is you're gonna need whatever frame, whatever size. This is a 11 by 14 frame. Is that right?
If you took Maker University, you may have one.
Yes, this is an 11 by 14 frame. On top of that, you are going to need some type of like canvas book. We got this from Hobby Lobby. This is actually a watercolor canvas. So if you have done watercolors before, or if you've painted before, you know that watercolor canvas is made for wet media. So just be aware that this canvas specifically is going to bleed together a little bit more than a normal canvas. And let's go to our share screen. And I'm gonna show you, if you don't want the watercolor canvas and you want like a painted look, but you're not really into like the colors bled together so much, I would suggest getting this canvas pad. This canvas pad is made for acrylic paints and things like that. So it's not made for wet media.
To bleed.
It's not made for the colors to bleed and blend. So just know that this is the one. I would get this Master's Touch canvas pad, not the watercolor. That's going to be completely up to you. You can choose your dimensions. The one that we have is a 12 by 16. Now you are going to need, and we'll go back to one, you are going to need a wide format printer if you want to make this large. Now, you don't have to have a large format printer. You can do this on smaller pieces of paper. If you can find canvas paper that is smaller, just know you can do it on a smaller printer, but I would suggest having some type of rear feed printer. I don't know that this is going to pull through like a tray, a bottom feeding tray. I do think you're gonna have to have some type of rear feed printer. And if, like I said, if you want to print this large, you are going to have a large format printer. Otherwise, you will just buy smaller canvas pads. That's it. There should be 8 by 10 canvas pads that you can purchase, I would assume. And we can look here in a minute on Amazon to see if we can find some. But just depending on what type of printer you have, we just use a standard inkjet printer for this. Not super, what was I trying to say? Just a standard, you should be able to use what you have.
Yes.
Okay? That's what I was trying to say.
You want to show them your belt today, Lauren?
No.
It's shining in a lot.
No, I don't. I'm using a shoestring for a belt today because I wanted to wear my comfy jeans, but my comfy jeans were falling off of me, and the only belt that I have is a dress belt. So I pulled a shoestring out of one of my shoes.
That is hilarious.
Sorry.
Fashion statement.
I mean,
they have 8 by 10 canvas pads for show.
They do?
On Amazon.
Good deal. Lorraine says, can it be sublimated? That's a good question. Canvas is cotton, and you cannot, I mean, you can sublimate on cotton, but it's just going to fade and wash out. So we're just gonna say, I mean, you can try it. You're more than welcome to try it. But we are just using our standard inkjet printer for this. Now, a lot of what we are gonna be doing is going to be, like I said, we're doing everything today in Canva, and we're doing it in an app on your phone. So let me preface all of this by saying everyone here in our office has an iPhone. So the app that we found after doing a little bit of research today looks to be only an Apple app. However, we have done a little bit of digging, and let's go back to our share screen. If you have an Android, We found that this app you can find in the Google Play Store, the watercolor effect and filter, and we'll click on this. This one looks like it does the same thing that the water brush app that we're gonna be using on our phone today will do, okay? So this is, if you have an Android, I would suggest starting with this app. It's called Watercolor Effects and Filter. And we'll go back to one. If you have an iPhone, the app that we're gonna be using today is called Water Brush. This is where you're going to turn your photo into a watercolor type image. Both of these apps are gonna be free to use. It does download with a watermark on the bottom, but I'm gonna show you how we did it how we set up our picture in Canva first. That way we can come back and crop that watermark out of it so it's not on there, okay? Heat transfer paper, I'm not really sure what.
Like you could put heat transfer paper on the canvas if you didn't have wide format, but it doesn't look as like artistic. It doesn't look like a painting when you do that. She's like saying print it on heat transfer paper and then put it on the canvas. Oh. If you don't have wide format printer.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, you could do that. But we're actually, and we'll go back overhead. You can see we've added this faux mat to it. So this is printed on it, the faux mat. And you can change the faux mat to any color that you want, in all honesty. So we'll go back to our share screen. We're gonna start in Canva and we're gonna start building all of this together, okay? So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna come over here to create a design. So I'm going to create a design. I'm going to come down here to more, and I'm going, nope, not more. I'm gonna come up to from more, and I'm going to create a custom size. Now I want this custom size to be the same size as what I'm going to be printing on, which today I'm changing my units to inch, and it's going to be a 12 by 16 inch canvas pad. So that's what I'm printing on, and that's what I want the size of my design to be. So we're gonna select Create New Design. From there, you can see we have our page, and I will zoom in just a little bit right here. But the first thing we're going to do is we are going to add our photo into Canva. And here, I'm gonna get into my phone. We're actually gonna be I'm gonna do a landscape today because I think a landscape is going to be beautiful with this watercolor effect. So I'm gonna be doing landscapes, florals, pictures of people like from the back would be beautiful. Like I said, it's kind of similar to like AI, or not similar to AI, but you know how AI kind of messes up the faces? Yeah. The only thing with this is when you are doing this watercolor effect and you want it to truly look like a watercolor painting, and we're printing it, it's just those faces bled and they just didn't look as good. Right. So you do have to be kind of careful about what photo you choose. So I am going to choose a photo. Let's do we want a floral or do we want a landscape? Like a floral like this?
That's pretty.
Or like a landscape like, where's it at? Ooh. Like that one.
Ooh, that one.
That one? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we got it figured out. We're gonna do a landscape. I'm gonna airdrop this to the computer. Oh, there it is. I was about to say, accept.
And if you don't have airdrop, you can email the photo to yourself.
If you don't have airdrop, I would definitely email the photo to yourself. That way you have it on your computer. But the reason that I'm doing this is because we want to put it in this first. and kind of size it the way that we want to. That way we can crop out that bottom portion that's going to have the watermark on the bottom, okay? So I'm just gonna drag and drop my landscape photo that I want to use in here, and we're gonna pop this in our design. Now, this landscape photo is, I truly need to resize this, and I need to do it, if I were doing this, I would personally do it sideways. So I'm going to, this is a pro feature, just so you know. I'm going to change this, and I'm going to change it to 16 by 12, and what that's going to do is, ooh, why did it do that? It's just going to turn it landscape.
Right. Or you can just rotate your picture.
You can
you just have to work on it sideways.
You could rotate your picture, but I personally don't want to work on the side, like turning it to the side. So I'm just going to resize this design, and you can see that it's just turned it landscape. Okay.
Looks good.
Janet, you can use your iPad if you want to. If you know how to work Canva on your iPad, you can actually do all of this on your iPad from between Canva and your phone. You could do it all on your phone if you wanted to. We're just doing it on our computer because that is what that's how we can share our screen. So now you can size your design the way that you want it. If you want a smaller photo and more of the matting, you're just going to size it that way. Another thing that I did want to try is I wanted to see if Canva has canvas, like just a canvas background that we can do instead of having to do all of this through the app. So I'm just going to type in canvas.
Also, they can't see the white area around the photo. I don't know why. We need to figure out a solution for that.
Huh?
Like, they can't see the white area surrounding
this?
Yes. There's no separation between that and the other shade of white. Yeah, you can't see it.
On the screen?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. I was just going to tell you to either change the color of it momentarily so they can see it.
Oh, this and that.
Yeah.
Oh,
they can't see like how much matting you have around your sunset.
Oh, okay. Okay, so like.
Yeah, just something so they can see how much space you've got.
So this is how much matting I have around it currently. Okay. That's just so you know. Right now I'm trying to come into you see how this gives you the faux canvas effect?
Oh yeah.
And then I'm gonna move it to the background. Is that better?
I'm not caught up yet, but.
So like Canva does have like matting. Like you could do this one. There's lots of different things that you can do. I kind of like that one.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna use that one. Okay. So now, now that we can see, what we're gonna do is, and actually what I would do to begin with is, because you do have to leave about we're gonna have to crop this about 2 inches from the bottom, because when we bring it into, when we bring it back into Canva, we'll have to crop this bottom part out and size it to make it fit. So I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller than what I truly want it to be. And we'll go ahead and center it. Or you can pull it up to the top and crop it and then pull it down, either way. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull it up to the top. Just trust me on this one, okay? Courtney has her off-centered matting, which is lovely. I'm gonna do centered matting.
Okay? So you're gonna, before you go to the app, you're gonna shrink it and pull it up a little bit.
Yes, before I go to the app, I'm shrinking and pulling it up a little bit, because you wanna leave about 2 inches on the bottom to be able to bring this and crop it up. And then after you crop it, you're gonna have to make, and it won't just do this, it'll make the whole thing larger. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So that's what we're doing. We're just going to, or you could even do it that way and leave this at the bottom, and then we'll crop it out. Either one will be fine. To not confuse you, we're bringing it all the way to the bottom. Okay? Beautiful. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to share this. We're going to download it as a PNG. You don't have to worry about a transparent background. Once we get in the app, if for some reason it changes this canvas matting around it, we may go back and do it as a transparent background, but we're just gonna play around with it right now. So we're just going to download it as a PNG, not a transparent background, and we're going to select download. Now, after I download it, I am going to send it back to my phone. And the reason that I'm doing that is because we are working on an app on the phone, okay? If you are doing this on your tablet, you'll just have to toggle back and forth between an app and Canva. So I'm just going to airdrop this to myself, accept, and then we will go overhead and we will start working here. Where is the airbrush? Watercolor, water brush. Okay, let's just go ahead and show you. This is what, hold on. Can they see this, Sadie? This is what the water brush app looks like if you are on an Apple device, and we can go back to share screen. This is the watercolor effects and filter that you have on the Android, okay? And actually what I might do, I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, I have to sign in. I don't have a Google Play account, sorry. Or can we sign in with, oh, hold on. We may, nope. We may sign in on here, whoa. Give me a second. Oops. Okay.
Nice.
We will let this install. Oh, it has to be associated with the device.
The app does?
No, I thought I could download it on this computer, but that Google account is not yet associated with a device. I was gonna also play around with that on the computer if I could, but it's not looking like I can because I don't have an Android device. So
it's okay.
It's okay. I would just play around with that. So we're gonna go back overhead. We're gonna go to the water brush app. Skip, okay. Now, once you're here, you are just going to go to load from photos. This one is the one we are using. It's going to bring it in. You can see, you can zoom in and look at all of the different types that it has. So let me see if I can, is that any better?
It kind of washes it out because the exposure is bright on the overhead camera.
So like that?
I would make it
Two.
Probably what you have it on.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can play around with the different types that they have in here to make it look to your standard, whichever you want. I'm just gonna click through some of these and see which ones I like.
I love that it gives it like a rigid edge.
I know, I do love that. Some of them give more of a rigid edge than others. So you can really play around with this and figure out which one fits the vibe that you're going for. Now, some of them will have different, like you see how the matting, I added the matting, like if you like that, you may have to bring it in and crop it all the way down if you just want the picture and not the matting around it. So you can just play around with it. I think I saw one earlier that I really liked that we're gonna go back to. I don't hate that one though, at all. Not a fan, not a fan. Nah. Some of these are not good. Let me just say, some of them are not cute. Some of them are better than others. Like none of those I really liked. Here's the one. I do kind of like that detailed one. I think it looks like a super good like watercolor, but let's go back to.
Some of those get crazy.
Natural is too washed out for me, I feel like, with this one. The pretty doesn't look as much like a watercolor. I think I want to go with the detailed one. I think I like the detailed one. Oh, that one's kind of cute too. I don't know.
I'll also say in the thumbnail, I used a photo of Georgia and that puppy. Mm-hmm. And we were playing volleyball. So there's like a bunch of people playing volleyball. And I used the magic erase in Canva to get rid of them. So if you have photos that like have people in the background that you don't want, you can erase them in Canva.
Yeah, no, I think I like the detailed myself. Now you can go to edit if you want to. So let's go back to the stylize. Like if there was, say this one, if you liked one of these, but you didn't like the outside, I wonder if you can go to edit.
And crop it.
Oh, magic eraser is you can try it. Oh, no, cancel. It looks like you have to pay for all of these down here, but like the brightness, saturation, and all that you can. So let's go back. I'm gonna choose the one that I want. I'm just going to literally choose this watercolor filter that I want. You see how it's done this, and it looks like a really cool watercolor painting now. And I'm just gonna click finish, okay? If you want to remove the watermark, it is going to cost you, but that's why I said we're leaving some room on the bottom because we're gonna crop it out in Canva. So I'm gonna just click no thanks. I'm going to share this, airdrop it, and then airdrop it to our computer. We'll go back to our share screen. Here we're going to save it to our downloads, or you can email it to yourself, either one. It'll both work. So we're gonna go back into Canva. We're here. Now what we can do is we can delete that out. I'll leave this gray so you can see the difference, and we are going to pop into our Finder, and the one that we just did in the water brush app, we're gonna drag and drop into Canva. And now we can add this to our image, and you see what it did. We're gonna have to crop this down. So we're gonna crop it here, crop this up, crop out the sides, and now all we have to do, and we'll zoom back out, is enlarge it so that it fits. And I still should have come down with it a little bit more. It's a little off-centered. You see that?
Yeah.
It's okay though. It's not, now this kind of off-centered I'm fine with.
Why don't you add some text?
That would be cute.
Like Jubilee or like a handwritten script font or something.
So if you wanted to add a text, what you can do is I just popped in a T for text, okay? And then you can type in a little something about what this photo is. And this was actually on my Hawaii trip last year. So I don't know. What would we want to say?
I would put like wherever it is, comma, Hawaii 2023. Like I wouldn't put like a quote. I would just put where it's at. Like, is it Honolulu?
This was in Honolulu.
Is it like a special beach or I don't know. I guess you could put a quote, but I like when it looks like an old scrapbook and someone just went in and like written in the text underneath a photo.
And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come here to my text. I'm going to go to handwriting, like that right there.
Yes, exactly.
That text is Beth Ellen. It's actually a Canva text. Yeah.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I've just seen that font for so long.
Yeah, it's a Canva text.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just gonna size it down, and I'm gonna place it like just right here underneath it, but I'm lining it up kind of to the left. And let's actually bring it down a little bit further away from that, just in case. This is the only issue is I am afraid, I hope that the font, I hope it doesn't bleed.
Yes.
So we'll find that out today in just a second together. And that's it.
It's cute.
That's all you have to do.
I love it.
Okay, so now we're gonna share. We are going to download this as a PNG, just like it is. We are going to download, and then we're gonna open this up like this, and then we are going to print this. So I'm gonna be printing this on our Epson or Canon TS 9500 series, okay? This is not 8.5 by 11. You are going to have to change the size of your paper. Will you search, what is 12 by 16 paper? Is that it's not A4, is it? No.
No.
We may have to do a custom size.
I don't, canvas paper.
Yeah, so we're just gonna come in and add a custom size. So I'm just gonna type in 12 by 16 right here. And okay. So I now have, where'd I go? 12 by 16.
I don't see any names for it.
Jan, I am printing from Canva. You have to download before you can print. So now this next, why does it say mug? 12 by 16 and it says mug.
Maybe someone could put a custom print setting in at some point.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to go to media and quality. You do not need to turn it to best, okay? We need this on normal because what happens when you print best quality, your printer puts out more ink. So we want to leave it at normal. We want to feed this from the rear tray, and we need to go, I want to actually print this on, I want to print it on glossy paper, but it says photo, so I'm just going to leave it on photo paper, because if you print on glossy paper, it also doesn't put out as much ink if you print on glossy, because the more ink that's on glossy paper, it will run. So anyway, we're leaving it on normal and printing on photo paper, okay? And now we're just going to print.
Beautiful.
Y'all, that's other than putting it in our frame.
I mean, that's it.
That's it. That's it. And I'll show you, I'll take this out of the frame while that is printing. I will go ahead and take this out of the frame. We did use some double-sided adhesive. Yes, we used our ATG gun. Sorry, it is not available anymore. So any kind of double-sided adhesive will be fine. But we did use double-sided adhesive for this project just to put it on. Come on. Seriously? There we go. And all we did is we taped it down to the back of our frame, just like that. You can see there's the double-sided adhesive, just so it would stay down really well. Yes, Kelly, we are using a large format printer. If you don't have a large format printer, Alicia linked 8 by 10 canvas paper that you can use in a regular size printer if you don't have the capability to print large format. However, I would suggest printing from the rear tray no matter what. And Alicia is out there getting the print for us. If anybody has any questions,
you don't have to take them words off.
You gonna have to take them off? That's what I thought.
It looks like we left the bleed on in the print and cut.
That's what I was afraid of. That's what I was afraid of. How bad is it?
It's awful.
That's what I figured. Okay, so if you have watercolor paper, you can't use words. We'll just go back to share and download. Download as a PNG, open it up, print this. We are not printing on letters. We're gonna pick mug because I forgot to change it, 12 by 16. We are going to be feeding from the rear tray, normal quality. Let's try plain paper today and just see what it does. Oh shit, shoot.
Straight to jail. Straight to jail, Lauren McCoy.
I have to put another.
Now Lauren's true colors are showing everybody.
I have to put another piece in there because I'm printing it again.
Oh shoot!
Don't do what I just did.
This is, I guess, an adult show now.
No, it's not. I also think that black makes it run more, so I may have chosen a bad photo. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Listen, if that's the worst word that ever comes out of my mouth, I'll be doing fine. Okay, so this is why we don't do the words on the watercolor paper. And do you see, I also change it, I changed it to plain paper this time to see if the plain paper does any better. I may have chosen a, I don't know that if you have an image that has a lot of black, let me try that flower picture.
You think the background will blend
black.
Too much?
I think it's the black that bleeds so bad.
Yeah.
I think the black bleeds.
I mean, you can definitely tell the other colors bled, but the black is just so prominent. It shows more.
Right. So I'm gonna test another photo really quick. Just give me a second. So I'm gonna we'll go overhead. Let's go to new. We're gonna discard this one. Let's load from photos and let me go to albums because I know that it's in my favorites album. Here we go. Okay, can you all see this? Can they see this all right-ish? Okay, so I'm this time going to choose one of these like floral that doesn't have a lot of, This is also why we start doing this in Canva because, I mean, I can do this, but I'm gonna have to crop out this bottom half, which is fine. We'll just go from here. So I'm gonna choose one of these that doesn't have as much black in it because the black tends to bleed too pretty bad. And it's the black that bled and made Tanner look like he had no teeth. So anyway, let's see which ones I like. I liked detailed in the other one.
Like in my brain, I'm getting a Sharpie and like giving this a little bit more fine lines around the palm tree leaves.
I know.
Just where it touches the blue, because it's like...
This is what it looks like. Okay, so here's the difference. This is, I printed with photo paper setting. This I printed with plain paper setting, but you all can see like the black is just going to bleed, period. And with this watercolor paper, you see how the ink is kind of saying wet? This is because this paper is made for wet media, so it stays wet for a while for you to manipulate it. And then if you've ever done watercolors, you know that this paper, it will stay wet so you can manipulate your actual watercolors. And then it will dry down and it will look more like this gray once it dries down. So choosing a a photo that doesn't have a lot of black, if you have the watercolor paper, is going to be good. So let's try, I'm gonna have you,
put another piece in?
I mean, why not? Why not? I'm gonna do one that doesn't have as much black in it. Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
This one still, this one still has quite a bit of black in the background, but what we can do is we can come in here to edit and we can adjust this black point and make it a lot lighter. That is exactly what I would do if you do have one that has a lot of black in it. I would adjust the black point. So if you go, the stylized is where you pick which one you like, and then you can go to edit, and if you swipe all the way to the right, it says black point right here. Bump that black point down, and that's going to take the blackness like out of the background of this photo. So now I can apply that. I can go back to the stylized, and I can start choosing, well, once you hit that, it kind of reverts back.
And honestly, if you guys are worried about it showing up or like how it's going to print, you can put like 4 of the same image on one piece of canvas so you can see, and then just remember which one was where, and then use those print settings every time.
I'm digging like the detailed for some reason. I like it.
I feel like if you put more detail on the image, it'll soften when you do the watercolor.
Yeah. So let's do that. Let's hit finish. Let's share this, and we'll airdrop it to here. We'll go back to our share screen. We're gonna accept that, save it to downloads, come back to Canva. Now this is where, see that photo that I chose, we'll try it. Let's go to Finder. We'll bring this in. Now I'm gonna have to zoom in so I can crop this, and I'm gonna crop this out at the bottom. Like this. Now I am gonna have to delete this out. And we're gonna have to go back to our elements, and we'll add in our canvas to the back like this. And then I will move it back. We'll just leave it this way. I mean, it's, make it maybe a little bit more square.
A part of me wonders if you wanted to have rough edges and you, for some reason, had to crop off what they did in the app, you could just pop that into like a rough edged frame on Canva.
Yeah, so let's do this. We're just playing around at this point. I'm gonna go look at frames. They do have some like rough edged frames. If you wanted it to be rough edged, you can. And then you would just pop that in there. It's a little too much rough edge for me.
Yeah.
But
just an option.
You know, an option. But what's gonna happen is this is gonna bleed either way. So it'll kind of look like it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna have a little bumpy edge.
Okay, so now let's try this one. Download. And download. Open.
I've been taking pictures of sunsets on the way to my house at the same spot for the last like 6 or 7 years. And I want to do a whole wall art piece in our living room of all the different seasons of the same view. And this would be such a cool way to do it.
Yeah. Okay, so we're printing this one that doesn't have as much black in it.
Okay, let's see what happens.
Lorraine says, I would just probably add the saying using HTV. You absolutely can. That is completely up to you. This is what it's going to look like as it starts drying down. You all can see it kind of looks, honestly, I'm not hating it as it's drying down.
Me neither. It looks good.
Like,
I mean,
I'm
from
not
far away, it really looks good.
Well, it just looks like a true watercolor painting to me.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get very detailed with your watercolor, but
right. It's more of an abstract.
It's more of an abstract anyway.
Yeah.
So it's up to you. Now, you will have to cut it down to fit your frame. For example, this one, we will have to cut down quite a bit. And what I would do if I were you, once it has dried and you know that that's not, see, the ink on it is still not dried down completely, because look at my fingers. Like, just touching it, I'm still getting ink on my fingers. So you definitely need to wait until it dries down. But what I would do after it does dry down, if you do have a lot of black ink, and I'm gonna leave this one to the side and I'll show you what I would do on this one, is I would try your best to center this the way that you want it. And then from there, it's not centered. So what I'm doing now, and we'll go to one and show you, I'm just holding this up to the light so that I can actually see the, and you're not gonna be able to, but this is my trick. I would hold this up to the light and I can see my margins on the side is here. So I know that these are pretty even. So now I know I can come back over here. I'm gonna flip this upside down while holding it down. And I'm just going to take, I'm just gonna take this, mark my edges, and very lightly mark your edges, just like that. And now you can cut them off. So that one didn't even make a mark, but that's what I would do as far as centering it up. And then we have a, I don't even remember what size frame that was.
Much better.
Oh, y'all, look how much better that turned out.
Pretty.
After taking the black point out of that.
Yeah.
That's stunning.
Yeah, much better.
Love.
Also, I remembered we had this workable fixative, which is like to spray on watercolor and stuff. So if you wanted to really seal the deal, you could spray this over your art.
Oh yeah.
It's really for people who want to like go revisit their art later and like change things and stuff, but it like it's kind of like a sealant. It's a weird medium, but.
Daisy did ask, and I think I missed it, is it free to do all of that on the app? Yes, it was free to do all of that. It just gives you that, watermark on the bottom. So I would still like, and you can see how this, like in Canva, this one didn't even look like it had rough, it did not have rough edges.
It was completely straight.
It was completely straight, but when you print it, it still gives it that rough edge look. But taking that black point out is makes it so much better. I mean, and you can do that on your phone. So let's go back and let me show you guys how you can do it on your phone. Let me find my photos. So like this image, and this is the one that we started with, on an iPhone at least. And I'm sure if an iPhone can do it, an Android can do it. Because I do, let's be honest, I love my iPhone and I would not trade it for a Samsung or an Android or anything. But Samsung has been doing stuff that iPhones are just now coming out with.
Yeah.
If we're being honest. So anyway, you're just gonna go to edit. And then at the bottom, you can see when you scroll over, black point, you need to lessen your black point. And that's gonna give you a better print. So that's what I did with this photo, is I had to lessen the black point because the black ink is what runs and that is what smears. So this is an example. You see this text, it was black, and it looks like we left bleed on if we were making a sticker in Cricut Design Space. So the black is what bleeds pretty bad. If you wanted to try text not in black, you could do that. I still think text is going to bleed. I think your best bet is going to be leaving it, and I think it would be super cute if you just went in and like wrote it yourself. like cursive handwriting on the bottom.
Like with a Sharpie pen or something?
Yes.
Yeah, that would look good.
Yeah. So that's it. After you cut this down to size for your frame, like I showed you all I would do, once again, if you missed it, we'll go back to one. If you're wanting to center it up, I would take the back of your frame. Because, and the reason I say this is you could take this, we could lay it over top of that, but y'all, you're just kind of guessing because your picture may be a little off-centered, so that's why I say put it in front of it. I know you can't see that shadow, but I can see the shadow and I can hold it up to the light and I can center it on either side. Once you have it centered, take it, flip it upside down, mark your margins, and then cut around it and tape it down with some double-sided adhesive.
Beautiful.
Carol asks, has anyone ever used your Cricut to write on the watercolor paper? Well, let's just get a Cricut pen and let's try it. We'll go overhead, we'll use it on this one that I messed up, and I'll just write it in my handwriting and see how it works.
Wait, I thought she was saying like use the Cricut to actually like.
Well, it might, but like if it's gonna bleed with my handwriting, it's gonna bleed with the Cricut.
Smart.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as of right now, it's bleeding a smidgen, but not enough to matter.
Yeah.
So like, whoop, I forgot the last part of my M. I mean, it's bleeding, but not, like, I would much rather prefer like this.
Yeah.
You just have to be careful. Like, my B was a little bit too close together. You just need to leave space. You know what I mean? Anyway, you get what I'm saying. Just be careful.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could take your, you could have your Cricut right, but it would be lining it up on this would be hard. Like putting it on your mat, lining it, putting it exactly where it needs to go, that would probably be super hard.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Love it. It looks good just handwritten.
Kathy says, using the watercolor effects and filter app, I'm not sure why you need Canva. It is because if you're gonna print, you don't need to print straight from the watercolor app because number one, it's gonna have that watermark on the bottom. It's gonna say water brush or watercolor effects and filter app, whatever. Second, when you print, you wanna have that faux matting around it, whether it looks like canvas, whether you change the color, literally whatever you wanna do, you wanna have that faux matting around it when you print it on your canvas paper. And then you can really truly know the size when you use Canva because you're making your document the size of your paper. So if your paper is like we have 16 by 12, you're making your document 16 by 12 and you know the true size of your paper so that when you download it, it is exactly how you designed it and you're not guessing. Right. That's why we use Canva.
Yes.
And like we said, everything that we did in Canva you can do it in the free version. You do not have to have Canva Pro to do anything we just did today. And it's very, very basic. I can walk you guys through it one more time if you want me to. We do have a few more minutes. So once again, if you're gonna start at your home page right here. Now your Canva may look a little different if you do not have the glow up. So what you're gonna do really quickly, you're gonna create a design, you're gonna create a custom size. If you want it landscape, your larger number needs to be your width and your smaller number needs to be your height. Landscape is horizontal. If you want it portrait, then your width needs to be your smallest size and your height needs to be your largest size. We are changing the units to inches. let's just say we wanted it portrait. We have 12 by 16 paper. So for portrait, we would do 12 by 16. For landscape, we would do 16 by 12, okay? Either one is fine. We'll just leave it like it is. So this is gonna be landscape. You're gonna create your new design. From there, you will upload the image that you want. If you don't want to drag and drop, you can go to Uploads, Upload Files, and then choose the photo that you want to use. So here's another example here's one of Tanner and Courtney. We'll upload that, pop that in, and then this is what you don't have to send this to the watercolor app. You can start in the watercolor app, but the reason that we did watercolor app is because the reason that we did start here is because we want to leave some room at the bottom to be able to crop that watermark out. So it's that simple. You'll then share it as a PNG, upload it into the app that you use, change it to a watercolor look, and then put it back in Canva and print. Super simple. Does anybody have any questions?
I think we got them all. That was cool.
Cool.
Yeah, and Sadie dropped a code for you all. If you're wanting to join yearly membership, we do still have the $30 off. You have to use the code FLASH30, and then you'll get access to all of our fonts, cut files, our master classes. This is giving very much masterclass vibes.
Oh, for sure,
like,
masterclass vibes.
Our master classes are like things that we wouldn't typically do on the channel, but that y'all want to do really bad. So
yes.
Those are exclusive to members, and we do them the first Thursday of every month. So that's a perk. You're going to get the 30 days to master your Cricut. I mean, literally everything that we offer on our website, you get access to. So
yes.
Love it.
So make sure you jump in on that Flash 30. Now, if you are here and you haven't already joined and you want to learn more about Canva, which is the program that we use today, we do have digital design for creatives. I will have Sadie drop the link for you. You can check out that join page. What we are doing is in this course, and you do not have to be a member to be a part of this course, we are teaching you everything you need to know about Canva so that we cut out all of the confusion. Now, let me be clear, we filmed the course and had it completely filmed and finished the day that Canva launched their new interface. So the course, if you have the glow up, if you have the Canva glow up, our course is still in the older version of Canva, which most people still have. Most people still have. I still have the old version of Canva. I don't have the glow up on my personal Canva. However, we are in the process of refilming everything because the functions are honestly, they're the same. They're pretty much the same. It's just, it looks different. And if you jump in and grab that course, you get the updates for the lifetime, like you get lifetime access.
Yeah.
And every time we update the course, you get those updates for free. So just know if you purchase today, you are going to be getting an update sometime around the first part of August when they do release the new interface to the public. So that's a really big perk right there. The fact that you know we just launched the course on June the 4th. You're already guaranteed an update by the first part of August, sometime around the first part of August. So
very exciting. Yeah.
It's very exciting. Another thing that I do want to make sure you guys know, if for some reason with how much this project bled today, if that is something that, if you like it, make sure you get the watercolor canvas pad. If that wasn't your thing, which it's fine if it's not, and you just want it to look more like the photo that you created, make sure that you get the Master's Touch canvas pad that is made for acrylic paints. It can still be pulled through your printer through the rear tray. I saw somebody earlier say that theirs was only a front feeding. We don't have a front, or we have ours feeds from the bottom tray and the rear tray. We don't have one that feeds to the front, so I'm not 100% sure how it would pull through with those other trays, but if you do have a rear feeding printer, we do suggest that.
And I'm going to put the link to the non-water, well, I don't want to call it non-watercolor, but
it's
like
the acrylic paint canvas.
Alternative canvas pad.
Cheryl just asked, what do you ladies think of Cricut releasing an embroidery machine that Tanner told us? So Tanner sent that to us a couple weeks before he made that video. My honest thoughts are, I feel like Cricut is trying to stay with the trends, and right now embroidery is making a huge comeback. So I think part of me is, I commend them for trying to stay on top of the trends. I don't know. I'm honestly, I'm kind of indifferent.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I really don't have a lot of thoughts. We've been so busy here in this office that we've not had a chance to have thoughts about it.
Yes, I'm just excited to see what it looks like. Does it look like a sewing machine? Because it looks like a plotter almost, but kind of looks like a sewing machine. So I'm just curious to see how it works and how it works with Design Space.
I'm curious to see if it has to, clearly it's going to have to work with Design Space.
I think it'll have its own software.
See, that's the other thing is I don't know how it can work with Design Space, but have the functionalities of like an embroidery machine.
You can use different files.
Well, another part of me feels like, dude, stay in your lane. Part of me feels that way because like Singer and Brother and all of these other, like, they're the powerhouses in the sewing industry.
Right.
Part of me is like, go Cricut, way to stay on top of the trends. Part of me is like, stay in your lane, buddy. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why I say I'm indifferent.
I'll be really like surprised if they create a new software, considering they need to be working on their other software.
I do feel like what little I have been in Design Space, there for the last like a month or so ago, I feel like we went through a lot of growing pains.
Mm-hmm. And it's
I've not had as many mishaps or as many bad feelings about Design Space here recently. It's worked beautiful for me here in the last like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, true that.
So like, I feel like they are listening. I feel like they have listened and they are trying to work on their software, but like also, I feel like there's a chance, like what if they're starting this patent, like starting this process, and then they can it like they can the laser? It's not official yet, I know that.
The laser never even made it to blueprints though.
No, it didn't.
I mean, this is already like getting patented and stuff, so they've already been like creating it. So I guess we'll find out.
I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll be back tomorrow, 1:30 Eastern Standard. We're going to be doing a watercolor pen hack. I guess we're really into watercolor
right now. We're really into watercolor right now.
So this one we're actually using the Cricut to draw design, and then we're going to show you what to use to get the watercolor effect. So a little hack.
And this is a little hack that we kind of discovered as a fluke almost. Yeah. And it was one of those things, guess what? You don't necessarily have to have the Cricut watercolor pens either.
Yeah. So y'all are going to want to be there for that. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So much fun.
Well, we'll see y'all tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern Standard.
Sounds great. Bye, guys.
Bye.